Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Paris and I'm the author of the Mageye trilogy. Book 1 is coming out on August 26, 2022, and the cover reveal is coming out a week from today. By the time you guys see this, it will be 5 days away. In today's video, I'm going to be doing some watercolor painting. Now, maybe the last time I did watercolor, I was like 9 or 10, so I'm very new to this. But I thought, why not just do any watercolor painting when you can do book-themed watercolor painting? So I'm going to do something Mageye related. What that is, I have yet to decide. So first, let's figure that out. All right, so I have my laptop out right now and I'm just looking up different watercolor ideas. Now I want to do something Mageye themed. I was originally going to do eyes because eyes are obviously very important to the series, but I think that's a little above my skill level. So we're going to do something that's honestly harder than eyes because logically speaking, that means it's my skill level. I'm completely lying. We're prepare for something ugly. All right, I have found an image that is blatantly above my skill level. We're going to be ignoring that. We're going to make our own kind of idea off of it. It is an eye because I'm writing the Mageye, so eyes are pretty important. I'm not sure if it's going to be, I'm seeing this eye has a lot of rainbows around it. I'll show you guys what it looks like in a second. So instead of doing Rose's eye specifically, I think I'm just going to do a general eye to represent the Mageye as a whole. So there's going to be a lot of different colors because their eyes are a lot of different colors. First, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm looking at. So this is the eye of choice. I am not good at drawing eyes, so it's not going to look this amazing and perfect, but we're going to use it as kind of a base. This is what I normally do with painting. I make a base and I kind of put my own twist on it. So this is what we're starting with. Now I'm actually filming at the desk I built in the last video, so as you guys know, it's very new and I do not want to get it all messed up and stained. So first things first is protect our work surface. So I'm just going to put some paper towels down and then we will be getting started. So next thing, I'm dropping things everywhere, ignore that. This is my watercolor pad thing. Now this actually right here I used with, I basically put markers on saran wrap, wet it, and then put it down, and this is what it comes up with. So if you guys would like a tutorial on how to do that, I can definitely show you sometime. But that is not what we're doing today. Today we are attempting to draw an eye. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly sketch a base for the eye so I have something to work off of, and then I'm like 99% sure these are like smudge proof, so I will be doing a test with you guys before I put water on top of them. But if it does not smudge, I'm going to outline it so that you can see the base even if the colors kind of smear together. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with watercolor. I normally paint with acrylics, so I'm kind of learning as I go. Let's give this a try. I have my image right over here, and now we're just going to start kind of lightly outlining it and we will see how it looks when it is done. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. I think the camera's partially blocking it and I'm also drawing really lightly. So I will show you guys exactly what it looks like, hopefully when it's done. This is the rough base for it. The bottom of it right here I feel like could be a little rounder to go out a little more, so I'm gonna fix that. Now what usually gets me with eyes is the eyelashes. I just can never get the angle of them exactly right. So what I might do is honestly leave it like this and then go over with just the brush and draw them on straight with the brush, because the way they're looking in this base is they're more like brush strokes. So I feel like rather than sketch them on with pencils, I would do better if I just go straight for the brush. I'm just gonna round the bottom of the eye a little more, and then before I ink it, I am going to test to see if it will smudge. So to test that, I'm just gonna, I guess, get a regular piece of paper and see what happens. Instead of a regular piece of paper, I'm using this old watercolor painting anyway, and I'm just gonna brush over it and see. Yeah, it is smudging. All right, so I'm gonna try it again and let it dry for longer and then see what happens. Take 2, it has been 5 minutes this time. I also added a pencil one just to see what happens. So, for this pencil one, all right, that's promising for the pencil, and now okay, so the outline is gonna have to be at the end, but I can keep the pencil one, paint over it, and then outline when it is fully dry. So that is what we're going to end up doing. Now, the next kind of dilemma I'm going to be facing is I don't actually have a watercolor palette. I just have these ones here, which is probably not preferable for a beginner who doesn't know what they're doing, but we're going to give it a try anyway. And then this is my acrylic paint palette. I'm honestly saving the paint so I can do one of those satisfying paint peels, which is why it's so messy looking. So I'm just going to kind of squeeze out a little bit and then wet it and see what happens. And we're just going to kind of experiment around and play with it a bit. So I don't really have any color that's good for the skin on this. Most of the colors I have are like pinks and blues and purples and greens. So I'm just gonna do kind of a pale or yellow and see how it works. I am planning on putting paint splatters on top of it. So worst case scenario, I can just cover it up. I was looking it up too. You're supposed to go kind of work your way from the lighter colors to the darker, so the pupil, etc. That's going to be done in just black. So that's going to be done last. So let's just give it a try. I have the canvas itself is dry right now. I'm gonna wet the paintbrush and the paint and see what happens. Oh, cool. Okay, so when I mix it up, it immediately gets, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm just like, oh, I don't even know if you guys can see where I'm working. I'm right here. It immediately becomes kind of watercolor consistency, which is exactly what we're looking for. Kind of obviously. All right, I'm gonna kind of mix these two together actually. All right, here we are. Right here on top of this purple. And yeah, this is gonna be really kind of murky, honestly. Now, obviously I'm not gonna need as much paint as that, so I'm gonna get a new brush down here. It's a really murky color, so I don't think it's gonna come up super great, so I'm very likely gonna need to go over it with something else. But that's okay, we're kind of just learning as we go. Because watercolor paint, you really don't need that much paint. It's really just the actual, oh yeah, that's not wet enough at all. All right, here we are. It's not looking as bad on canvas as I expected it to be. This is just my, like, cheering myself on. Like, oh, this is not as horrible as it could be. It could be, you know, worse. So I'm just going to be doing a lot of wetting, back and forth, painting it on. And I'm going to be letting it kind of be splotchy. I don't want it to be perfect. I want to go for the, like, watercolor look, if that makes sense. So I'm just kind of going up and down. All right, this actually, I kind of like the color. It's almost like a pale orange, but you know, I think that will look good with the other colors on top. So this is going to be my background. It's just going to be this kind of orangey color, and then we're going to start working on the iris afterwards. And obviously I'm going to need to stop and take some breaks so that some of the colors I'm definitely going to blend together. Some of them, I don't want the iris blending in with the background. So we're just going to be kind of experimenting as we go. And I'm going to let it be kind of, some areas are darker, some are lighter. All right, yeah, I am liking this actually. Like I said, like I've never really done watercolor before, so I'm really just learning. And I kind of like this. This is cool. All right. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to finish the background and then I'm going to decide what color I want the iris to be. So I wasn't specifically going to do any specific eye. I was going to do kind of a rainbow of colors, but I've changed my mind. I'm going to do Rose's eyes specifically today. We're going to see how it turns out. Now her eyes are peridot green. So peridot is actually the August birthstone, which is my birthstone. I was born in August. So that is kind of why her eye is that color. And then obviously it coordinates with her power. So I'm gonna mix the green, oops, did not mean to do that, green and some yellow together to get that pale color that we're looking for. And then I'm gonna paint it on the iris. Now this background is not fully dry yet, but it's not connected to the iris, so we're just gonna kind of go with it and see what happens there. Now, when you're mixing watercolors, you're not really supposed to do it the same way you do with acrylics. I'm doing it that way anyway, because I'm a rebel like that, and it's also easier for me. Not gonna lie as an acrylic painter. So we're just gonna mix these together like it's acrylic, and then we're gonna wet it more. And then again, I keep getting this all mixed in. We're gonna get a very pale color. Now, obviously, you don't paint with a ton of the paint, you more so tap it. And then we're gonna work our way up. Her iris is not gonna be a super solid color. I want there to be different streaks through it, etc. You guys will understand exactly why once you read the book. But for now, we're just gonna do a base for it. And then if it strays across the painting a little bit, that's okay. I'm not looking for perfection. I think that's part of the watercolor look, honestly. Watercolor is really not meant to be perfect. It's supposed to be a little bit wet. Pun 100% intended. So I'm just gonna paint it on. And yeah, we're definitely gonna need to add more yellow to this, I can already tell. But that's okay, we're gonna just build our way up. and add colors as we go. Maybe I'll even just add yellow straight to this while it's still wet, let that mix in, because that's kind of the advantage of it, is you can mix on the canvas itself. So we're just gonna go through, let it be a little sloppy, and then we're gonna go and just kind of keep adding to it. The next part of the iris is gonna be adding those, I don't even know what to call them, the pretty part of the iris is the different streaks, etc. For somebody who has a book based around eyes, I should really know more. But I'm gonna be starting to add those kind of streaks, just like the design in the iris, I guess is a good way to say it. Now, it's mostly dry on here, so it might smudge a little bit, which is kind of what I'm going for, because again, it's watercolor, we kind of like that smudgy look. So I just have a couple different greens and stuff here, and I'm going to be kind of just adding little bits of it here and there with a very fine tipped brush, and kind of just see how it turns out. Now, yeah, it's kind of just like spreading out a little bit. We're going to go around the eye. I'm kind of copying off of the picture just to kind of see what it looks like on the picture itself, but I'm kind of doing some of my own as well, and we're just going to see what it looks like. We're going to have to do a few layers of this, kind of just keep adding to it, letting it smudge out a little bit, get them less smudgy as I kind of add on top of it, and we're just going to keep going until it's done. Keep stacking up. I'm going to add some lighter colors as well on top, which again, I said a little while ago, you're supposed to do light first and work your way up to darker. But I would still like to see if I can get some of the lighter colors on top so I can have kind of just some white, almost highlights for it. So we're just going to keep going, keep adding, and going around. I have some of the original green left as well, so I'm going to, oh, that looks cool. Okay. I don't think this is really wet enough. I'm honestly almost using paint in some way, so I'm just going to keep wetting it. I'm not wetting my canvas itself because I don't want everything to smudge everywhere. I'm just wetting the brush, wetting the paint, and going back and forth. And I'm not super paranoid about staying in the lines right now, so we're just gonna let it kind of smudge around. All right, yeah, this isn't looking too bad. I kind of like the way this is looking so far. And we're just gonna keep adding, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's dried. So right now I'm adding just a little bit of light blue to the white part of the eye, just so that there's something there and it's not left completely plain. And then once that is done, I'm gonna add another layer to the iris itself. Although I think the iris is honestly almost done at this point. I'm just gonna again get this very fine tip brush and add a little bit more like details to it. And let's see, my paint from before is still wet when you re-wet it. So let's just keep kind of adding just a little bit here and there, more just straight lines at this point, and then it's gonna be pretty much done for the iris itself. After that, what I'm gonna need to do is the pupil and then the outline. Like I said, not the outline, but the outside and the eyelashes, which I'm still a little worried about, but we're just kind of experimenting with this. And honestly, I'm really enjoying watercolor. I might start doing it more often because this is a lot of fun, and hopefully it will turn out well. I think right now it's turning out pretty good, but my worry is going to be the eyelashes. So I will, you guys will see me when I get there. We'll see exactly how that goes. Next, I'm going to add the kind of the shine on the eye, and I have white, which honestly probably won't come up too much just because it's kind of a whitish canvas. I mean, I can see it a little bit, but I'm doing this and then I'm going to do the pupil itself just so it looks like there's some light reflecting off of it, because I don't know about you guys, but I think eyes look a little creepy when you just have the pure dark pupil with no light reflecting off of it. That looks a little creepy in my opinion. So we're going to add that there. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can see it with the way the light's hitting it at my angle, so that works out. Next, I'm going to add the pupil's color itself. I'm just going to use the same brush and go right into it because the black will cover up the white on the brush and it won't really smudge too much. So this is going to be probably a bit darker. We'll see how it looks on the canvas. All right, we're going to want it probably a little lighter than that. Just kind of mix it up. And honestly, when it's dry, I might add more of the white on top, just kind of see what happens. And again, I'm really not looking for pure perfection. I just want the pupil to look like a pupil, and then we'll see how it goes from here. All right. Now this is not perfectly smooth around here, the reflection of the light, so we're just going to keep going around, see how it looks. And again, I'm kind of letting some parts be a little darker than others. And let's see. I'm probably going to hang this on my wall somewhere. I was actually talking to my mom a little while ago. I want to probably repaint my walls, but I'm considering I have a bunch of paintings. I might just go ahead and hang them up now because I want to hang this up as soon as possible. So if I do that, I will either post pictures at the end of the video or maybe include them next week. If not, they will definitely be on my Instagram. So if you're not already following me at Parisandherbooks on Instagram, you really should, because that's where you're going to be getting the cover reveal first. You'll get some pictures of my paintings up on the walls, and you'll also kind of get the first inside peek of everything Mageye related. So definitely give me a follow over on Instagram, same handle that's on here. The moment we have all been waiting for, and in my case, kind of dreading. I'm ready to do the eyelashes. Part of me doesn't want to add them, I'm so nervous too, but you know what? We gotta take the risk, we gotta try to do it so it can be complete. I'm gonna be doing probably different sizes and lengths for them. So right now I'm just wetting my black paint. I don't think you guys can see it, I think it's off camera. But we're gonna be wetting it, and then we're just gonna be kind of doing swoops and seeing how it looks. Now, looking at the picture, eyelashes don't all go in the same direction. They're not all the same size. They're not perfect. So we're gonna be playing on the not perfect part in particular and just kind of swooping. Oh man, I'm nervous to do it. I'm just gonna kind of, okay, I'm doing a sample on like my thing. All right, looking at the image, we're just gonna go for it. Okay, I don't understand how they get them so thick and lush. All right, that's not looking horrible. I'm just gonna kind of keep adding them. That's a little patchy. Now honestly, this looks more like acrylic right now than oh shoot, I have it on my hand. All right, more like acrylic than watercolor, because it's not super watered down. But I'm gonna use that to my advantage because that's what I'm familiar with painting wise. And ooh, that one looks a little funky. Kind of just keep adding, and oh man, seeing how it looks. It's not gonna be perfect, but you know what? I have faith. We've got this. And then afterwards, I don't know, I wasn't gonna add splashes to it, but now I kind of want to add just some splotches of color and kind of just mix it up a bit, because Rose is a Mageye after all, and colors are very important. It's not all plain in this world. Magic has different glows, different auras. That eyelash is going blatantly in the wrong direction. But everybody's has a different aura, different color. Rose is obviously associated with green, but I think I might add a little bit of a rainbow of color. There's something in the book that she loves that has a lot of rainbow colors in it, so I think she would appreciate having some rainbows associated with her. So I'm gonna keep doing the eyelashes. They're not exactly what I was hoping for, but you know what, guys? This is like my first time doing watercolor and my first time painting an eye, so I'm gonna give myself kudos for trying and call it a day. Here we are. So, not in love with the eyelashes, but you know what? I'm not gonna let it bother me. I'm actually happy with the way the iris itself looks. So I'm gonna let that sit, and I don't know, I'm trying to decide if I want to add colors to it. I think I do. I think I'm gonna add a bit of a rainbow of colors because this is my original base here, and that has a lot more colors than mine does. So I think I'm gonna add some just splotches of color, maybe around the outside, some around here. Nothing's gonna touch the eye itself, but maybe some of the skin, etc. Just to add a little bit of a pop to it. So the way I'm gonna be doing this is I'm gonna kind of just let the colors mix out and spread out as they go by themselves. And I'm just gonna be drawing some splotches kind of around, kind of seeing what happens. Let it mix, let it spread out the way watercolor does. And then we'll see. Hopefully I don't ruin it. Already looking a little ruined, but you know what? I'm just gonna add more water and make it look purposeful, and then nobody will know, because you guys are gonna keep that secret from me, right? I'm gonna let it go. Well, obviously, I guess look better with more colors, more splotches, but yeah, Rose likes rainbows a lot, so I'm gonna just be adding some color to the painting. And honestly, you know what I've seen before? Hold on, you know what I'm gonna try? I'm gonna try blotting it and kind of just seeing. Yeah, see that? It kind of makes it, ooh. All right, I like that effect. So, I'm gonna add, actually already have some blue out. So I'm gonna use this brush here, get some of my blue, and oops, that is a lot of paint and not so much watery paint, just straight paint. All right, here we are. Add some more. Oh yeah, this looks more like a good artistic watercolor splotch right here. All right, nice. And I'm gonna just slowly tear this apart and blot as I go, so it has like different, so I like the way it looks when it's partially blotted in some areas. All right, let's see, do I have purple? I need purple on here. Purple, oh, actually this is better. Purple for Miles, of course, because he has purple eyes. Ooh, if I can get it out of the container. Come on. Oh my goodness, it's completely, all right, here we are, got it. Violet is perfect. Open that, squirt it here, and then wow, that is really thick, and we don't want it really thick. We want it watery. Ooh, I like that color. All right, that's a nice deep purple. Gonna add some of that here, and just let that seep out a bit. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm not in love with the splotches, but we're gonna make it work. I'm just gonna add more, make it a little more consistent, and then, you know, maybe I'll add more purple on the other side as well, so they're kind of spaced out a bit. Add some purple up here. Let it go, fill up the canvas. Oh, see, that one has like little dots around. I kind of like the way that looks. Don't start playing a video. Please don't play a video. All right, there we are. My laptop, I hit a button and it started playing something and I was like, I don't think we want to listen to a random video right now. All right, and just keep adding and keep blotting. So I ended up trying kind of that technique where you flick the paintbrush. Now, obviously I had to be careful because I have a very limited safe splatter space. So next time I would take it outside and do a ton of that flicking instead of the bigger splotches. But you know what? I'm still happy with the way it turned out, but we obviously have one more detail, and that is writing the Mageye on it. So where's my very fine tip? Here it is. Where's my black paint? Oops, didn't mean to cover everything for you guys. All right, get more of the black paint out. And I am like, I think it's done. Some of the splotches are a little odd looking, but the splatters, I like the splatters a lot. I'm happy with that. Like I said, next time I think I would do only splatters and just like let it flick it across and kind of see how it looks. So I'm gonna put the Mageye right here. Maybe I'll put it kind of sideways. Do all caps the Mageye. Now I'm kind of, do I want to let it get wet and a little bit streaky? No, I think I'm gonna keep it, like this, but I think at the top I'm gonna write Rose. Her name should be probably done in like a deep green, I think. So, oh, no. I'm gonna do a red splotch. I'm gonna do a red splotch right here. And then when that dries, I'm gonna write her name in like a deep green. Oh, that's more pink because she really likes strawberries. So it's gonna kind of resemble strawberries. So I'm gonna do a splotch right here. All right. And wet my brush. My water's all stained with other ones, so I'm like pouring water on top of the brush. Leave it here. And then, oh man, that's really, really thick and I want it more watered down. I'm just gonna pour water straight onto the not the canvas, straight into the, onto the palette. Really get it wet. Now we're talking, that's water paint consistency, watercolor consistency. So leave this. I guess we're gonna want it kind of bigger. I'm trying not to touch the canvas with my arm. That's why I have my arm angled a little oddly, because it's still wet and I don't want my hand to rush into it. So here we are. It kind of looks like a heart. Now I'm adding stuff that does not make it look like a heart. All right, there we are. And then when this part dries, I'm gonna make it a little bigger. when this part dries, it is gonna have Rose's name in this green that is down here. So I'll show you guys the finished product when it is all dry. See you guys then. All right, here is the finished painting. I have to say my favorite part is definitely going to be the iris, because I wasn't sure if I'd have the right colors to get the peridot green shade I was looking for, but I do think I was able to capture that with the colors I had, so I'm very happy about that. Again, not completely in love with the splotches in my opinion. That being said, I think I'm going to want to paint Miles' eye to go with it, and to make it match, I'll have to add some splotches to his as well, but I really, the splatters are what I like more so I'll probably take Miles outside and kind of just splatter him with a bunch of colors. So here is Rose. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more videos with writing tips, writing kind of day in the life of writers, and maybe every once in a while, a writing painting session. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great rest of your morning, evening, night, day, whatever time it is. Have a great day.